Welcome to Treacherous Path. I'm your host, Granddaddy Sam. You know, they say that the truth is a window into the past. Or at least that's what I just said. Today we're going to do a little truth telling. I'm going to explain to you what happened to me in my life. And then you be the judge. You tell me if I'm right or wrong. You tell me who is right or wrong. When I was 18 years old, I was on my own. Literally, I was on the streets the first 4 months of my life. When I finally got a clue and figured out how to get into a place where I could, have electricity and sleep and just normal stuff. When I finally figured all that out, I started having a few drinks with the people that I lived with. Beer. And that led one thing to another. And one night, when I was 3 days into my 18th birthday, me and another guy were really drunk on beer. And we were walking home, so we decided, hey, let's look in some of these cars and see if there's anything in there that we would want. And 3 days into my 18th birthday, just coming off of the streets, I said, okay, I was drunk. Now, I'm not making excuses, but I'm telling you, I was drunk. I didn't care what I was doing. That's what alcohol does to you. So we broke into a few cars and stole some sunglasses. Well, one of those cars belonged to a cop. And he was getting ready for work that day, and he saw us. So he came out and confronted us. My friend ran, and I got caught. I got charged with burglary of an automobile, and I got taken to court and charged with a felony. And then they dropped it down to a Class A misdemeanor. And then my probation officer came to me and said, if you join the United States military, you can get all of this. You would be one of the last to be able to be given military service to get out of a bad thing that you did. See, that's something that they offered back in the day. So I took it. And I joined the Army National Guard here in Florida. I served honorably for 6 years. And then for, regular circumstances, I decided not to re-up. I was stupid. I should have. I regret that. But I served honorably. I was light infantry, 6 years trained. Good. Loved my job. Loved being a soldier. Now, fast forward 25, 30 years, I've been buying guns my whole life. As you can tell. But fast forward 25, 30 years to today, and they've stripped my rights. They've went back to that charge that I got when I was 18 that was a Class A misdemeanor, and now they change it. They say, now it doesn't just have to be a felony. If it carries a certain amount of time as a misdemeanor, then you can lose your gun rights for that. Out of Tennessee when I was 3 days into my 18th birthday. So there you go. That's the story. As I sit here today, an old soldier that straightened my life out a long time ago. My daughter's about to graduate from FSU this year. But I can't buy guns in this country. Yeah, let that sink in. Now I support my president. And I support my country. Because I believe that he actually cares. I don't know who changed the law that said all of a sudden I'm a bad guy. But that's what happened. You be the judge. Treacherous path out.